Hey, today I'm going to talk about Orientalism. Just going to run through it quickly. First, about what it is. So, what is Orientalism? It is an imagined space invented by Europeans. It's a creation with no corresponding reality. Um, it's not real or it's an abstract idea. um, and it's always given certain characteristics. It's always like strange and remarkable, and often a place of exotic things and of romance. Um, it it's the East. It's always considered the East as opposed to the West, as the opposite of us, or of the West. It includes a wide range of diverse territories. It essentializes the West it essentializes the East into just one single block and just presumes that they all have the same cultures and same traditions and customs, and which is gross. Um, it is a it's always an object. It's something that is talked about. It's always a subject of description, of analysis. It can't be represented by itself, and the superior Westerners have to represent it and help it talk about itself because it doesn't know what it is, which is just or it's ridiculous. There's and it's always in contrast to Europe, and it's always considered the opposite of what Europe is, and this is always given a negative tangent, a negative bias. Um, Most importantly, who is an Orientalist? Oh, so this is anyone who writes about or teaches or describes or tries to be that person representing the East for them on their behalf. Um, and this was commonly, according to Said, this was primarily Britain and France, and increasingly today that's Americans too. Um, so Orientalism is the practice of this. Orientalism expresses and represents the Orient culturally and ideologically, um, through these academies. It's a whole mode of discourse with supporting institutions and vocabulary and scholarship. Um, Colonial bureaucracy, Said links it to colonialism very strongly, um, saying that it was the political space invaded the civic space of this knowledge production, and use this Orientalist discourse to justify invading these territories and helping them in the great way that we did. Yeah, so but I think the main thing of Orientalism for me is this othering technique, and some critique has been said of Said that he as he was pointing out the essentialist discourse of the Orientalists, he's also doing that to the West, and he's also he's lumping all these, fair enough, like Orientalists, but he hasn't considered the wider picture. He hasn't considered people that might have a deeper, or try to get a deeper understanding of it and try and take a step back and understand it properly, or at least try to, which there are examples of, which was pointed out by Varisco. But I was wondering if also the focus is the theory is all about um, the Western approach to the Middle East But I was wondering if you can see othering in other contexts. I was wondering if you can see othering from an Islamic point of view. I wondered if with the great rise of the Islamic Empire in the 6th century, 7th century, sorry, um, the Muslims othered the rest of the world. You have Dar al-Islam and Dar al-Harb, sort of us and them. Those, we are the monotheists and everyone else is the polytheists, and this is wrong and this is tribal, and also had these negative characteristics about it, and they used that discourse to justify their expansion out through vast territories. And so I wondered if there's also sort of a similar dynamic of what Said touches upon outside of the context of West on the East. I wonder if you can find it in other areas. So yeah, thanks for listening.